That is the hardest part of that ring.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody, and welcome
The hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 55 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. I'm Adam and Sam's here.
Hello.
John's here.
Hello.
And Brett's here.
Hey.
And we are all recently home from John's house because we watched the Royal Rumble together today. Thanks for having us, John.
My pleasure. It's great having you around, actually, lads. Lads.
Didn't appreciate you throwing me over the top rope to get me out of the house.
Well, it's the only way you can get me eliminated.
Yeah. It's true. And actually, big news from today. Some of our listeners might be tuning in wondering what state Sam is in, but unfortunately, it was promised, it was teased, but we did not put Sam through a table today.
Didn't deliver. There was a weight issue. I'm sorry, I love my food.
We just could not get Sam up.
God, that's harsh.
No, we realised we did a little recce. We did a little bit of a health and safety review of John's living room and realised the ceiling wasn't high enough to be able to do the shield powerbomb that we wanted to do.
I just want to point out, I did bring a table.
You did bring the table.
You did.
You did bring it. You followed through
A
with it.
very sturdy looking table, which we did not want to kill you with.
Yeah.
Well, I might try and arrange going through that this weekend.
Okay.
Trying to arrange. What, did you know some guys?
I know a guy. I know a guy who'll put me through a table for a tenner.
I like the idea of you doing it yourself and doing like a selfie video jumping out of a tree.
Yeah.
That'd
be good. Jeff Hardy
just
style.
Put it in a corner and cannonball onto it.
Yeah. Do a bit of solo backyarding. Well, that sounds dodgy. Right. So, last podcast was the NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool review. And today, of course, we're going to talk about WWE Royal Rumble 2019. We've got hardest question of the week as well. But let's get into it.
Oh, face first into the apron of the ring. There's very little padding there. A dangerous area. It's not wrestler friendly, I can tell you.
WWE Royal Rumble 2019 was held at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, with a massive attendance of 48,193.
It certainly didn't sound like 48,193 people were there, did it?
I don't know. It's pretty hot in places.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's just me.
Weirdly, for Jeff Jarrett, it was very hot for Jeff Jarrett.
I mean, that just makes no kind of sense.
No, wrestling's a weird thing.
It's just it was quite a weird venue because we talked about it, but there was no stage, and then the ramp was sort of bent at the end, and so it was quite a weird situation when people were trying to run down the runway and then had to take a sharp left. Obviously, I mean, it didn't go too well for the cameraman right at the start.
Yeah.
It gave me real kind of Ultimate Warrior vibes. Like, do you remember when he used to run down to the ring and he'd have that stupidly long run to the ring?
Yeah. And he would run full pelt, like using every ounce of the steroids he was taking to get there.
Getting his money's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing more than ounces as well, I reckon.
I thought it looked good though. I thought it looked massive. Like the crowd behind the ring, it looked like there was just a sea of people there, and then the little blue spotlights they had. I thought it all looked quite nice.
Yeah, I think it was set up quite nicely. I quite like the kind of left turn ring entrance thing. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Bit different. Exactly. Okay, well, there was a pre-show, and we did watch some of it whilst we were waiting for Sam to turn up. We're not really going to talk about it because we don't tend to, because usually they just shove the matches that aren't really that big a deal on there, and it was no different.
It sounds like
today.
they just make them up as they go along. If the fucking pre-show was Ruben Gable versus Dawson and Rezar.
That's true, but Rusev Nakamura had proved to be quite an important match.
Okay, yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, well, so we should say what they were, as we've alluded to. It was Rude and Gable, the Raw Tag Team Champs, versus Scott Dawson and Rezar, because Akeem was injured or something. I don't know what's going on.
The African Dream.
It still sounds weird that Rude and Gable are tag team champions.
This match sounds like one of the biggest put-togethers I've ever heard of. How has this happened? What's wrong with the other member of the Revival who I can't name at the moment because I'm not good at wrestling?
He's fine. It's the other member of AOP that was injured.
But why would it... Why would you just not have Rude and Gable versus the Revival?
These are all valid questions. We don't have.
Is it just because the Revival is still in the doghouse or something?
Probably.
Tweet Vince.
Yeah, tweet him.
Yeah. If listeners, tweet Vince and then tweet us and let us know. We also had the Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura match for the United States Championship, which, that is a bigger deal because Nakamura won the belt. Although,
good for him.
We're not that fast.
Also, obviously, Lana got injured, which proved to be important.
Oh, that is a good point, John.
Do you know what? I even forgot about that when that became
WWE
important.
playing the long game.
A very long game. Like
the long
they need
game
to
of
have
4.5 hours.
the gap between a 2-hour pre-show and the main show needs to be much shorter if we're to remember.
Oh, Brett, that's just you, Brett. You have a terrible memory, let's face it.
I do. Okay, it was just me.
And then the Fatal 4-Way for the Cruiserweight Championship between Kalisto, Hideo Itami, who's put on a bit of weight, by the looks of things, Akira Tozawa and Buddy Murphy. And Buddy Murphy retained.
We missed that one, didn't we?
Yeah,
that
we
was
missed
probably
that one.
great.
I
that
might go back
probably
and
was
watch
a
it.
good match. Yeah, I wish I'd seen that.
Yeah. We looked at the main card and saw that, or the main event, and saw that it was basically 5 hours and realised we should probably just get into watching that. So traditionally, we discuss the key matches, then we talk about best of the rest and worst of the rest, and then we pick a star performer and rank the pay-per-view out of 10. Today, just because of the way the Rumble works with 2 massively long matches, pretty much every match on that card is a key match. Apart from one, and I think everybody can guess what that might be. So we'll get to that later in maybe in the worst of the rest section. But for now, we're just going to focus on the key matches, all 6 of them, and we're going to do it chronologically. And we're going to start off with Asuka versus Becky Lynch, one that we all thought was pretty difficult to call at the start. Obviously, WWE wanting to keep both of these guys looking strong.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who was going to walk away with this one at all, and I think they made the right choice, to be honest.
I thought it was going to be a dirty finish. I did think that was going to come in to keep both strong.
That's why it's a massive win for Asuka because it is a clean win. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it would have been awful if they'd taken the belt off her so soon.
Yeah.
But as it is, they're keeping some momentum, which is much needed for her, really, isn't it? And obviously, it all made sense in the long run.
It was a great match as well. Like they were countering each other so much. Like they were so evenly matched.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get more on board with this much more sort of scrappy, punch throwing, intense Becky Lynch as well. In the wrestling side.
Oh, is she breaking into your top 50 wrestlers ever?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, obviously,
number 50?
Character and Twitter wise, she's on top. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, the in-ring stuff, I'm warming to the style because it's changed for her.
Look who's turned up late to the party with
I know.
just 2 cans of San Miguel just for himself.
We should say that anybody who didn't listen to our top 50 wrestlers that we did a couple of weeks ago to celebrate our 50th episode, Brett didn't vote for Becky Lynch in his top 50.
We call it top 50. We call it the UK screw job. Where, Brett screwed Becky.
I'm just, when something's so popular, I'm always going to come way late to the party. Once everyone's moved on.
Yeah,
then I'm
exactly.
like, this is awesome.
You're going to be recommending Breaking Bad to us in a minute. What do we think about that weird... What was it? A neck breaker, a fisherman buster,
that
botch
botch
thing off the apron. Where they sort
that botch off the apron. It was a good botch.
Looked dangerous, didn't it?
Cool. I think, what was it? A swinging neck breaker gone wrong?
Yeah, I just think they just...
Yeah, it was like a quarter neck breaker.
But they kind of landed with their heads like together, so that some rattling brains going on.
I did love it when
Asuka
Asuka did the Asuka lock through the ropes. That looked nasty. Well, that was cool.
Yeah. They were doing a lot of sort of trading locks and submissions towards the end, which was really cool.
It was a great match. It was really good.
Surprised by the ending, actually. I kind of find it weird, even now, seeing anyone tap out cleanly in a main event or like kind of in a big title match.
In a title match,
Yeah, because it kind of makes whoever taps out look, well, for lack of a better word, weak. even though obviously it's Becky Lynch and she could beat the living shit out of all of us.
I don't know. I think this whole pay-per-view, actually, there were some finishes which I was really happy about because they're not usually the finishes, so that's why it took by surprise. I thought that was cool.
Absolutely. I think they did a good job with this. It was definitely felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think if it hadn't been the Royal Rumble, we might have been like, oh, that's a bit weird for Becky to lose like that. But because we knew the Royal Rumble match was coming, we all knew, didn't we, really, that this was a way that she would be able to get involved in that and maybe book her ticket to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting Asuka to go over clean. I was expecting a dirty finish.
Yeah, me too.
There you go. It's interesting. Where do you think Asuka goes from here?
Should probably go
long
home and
undefeated
streak.
Feud with Mickey James.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Let's move on.
Maybe
to
Charlotte.
Maybe Charlotte.
Yeah, because if Charlotte's not in that, at the moment, if she's not in that picture with Becky and potentially Ronda.
Yeah.
I would love to see the WrestleMania rematch at WrestleMania where Asuka gets a win back against Charlotte. I think that would be very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlotte's got a main, proper headline, and it's got to be with Becky, and it's got to be with Ronda. Let's face it. It's got to happen. Anyway, speaking of Ronda, that was the next key match that we're going to talk about, and it was the Raw Women's Championship match between Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey. Really good to see heel, scrappy, vicious Sasha Banks.
Yeah, just really aggressive.
Yeah. It's just nice to see her in a title match, isn't it? It's been when's the last time she held the title? 2017, something like that. She won it a lot when she was trading it with Charlotte for all those years. I'm a big fan, and it's nice.
She's one of the most talented wrestlers on the roster, without any doubt.
Yeah, she's often forgotten as well with what's been going on with the likes of Charlotte and Becky, and obviously now Ronda as well, and Asuka.
Yeah.
I think she's very much fallen down the pecking order of the four horsewomen, though. Like, kind of, when those four came up, I would have said
still
she
above
was
Bailey,
probably...
though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, like, kind of, it's a bit of a weird one. It was nice to see her get some recognition, have a good match with Ronda, and again, like a surprising finish. Like the one finish that I expected to end in a submission. Didn't it?
Yeah, that has been your problem in the past, isn't it? That's been your issue, is that she always finishes with the armbar. So refreshing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like a predictable finish, and it wasn't predictable. I mean, Ronda going over was predictable, but
yeah,
there was a lot of submissions and a lot of countering throughout the match, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
I know obviously Sasha Banks has the bank statement, but I don't know her, for much sort of mat wrestling. So seeing that, go throughout the match was really nice and gave it a different flavour to a lot of the stuff.
And that armbar that she put on Ronda looked so painful, didn't
the double one.
Yeah.
It looked like her shoulder was going to pop out.
Yeah, it was Zack Sabre Jr.-esque, that one was, like, really wrenching both arms back.
Yeah, I loved it when she used her own ring gear as well to, like, choke her. I thought that was really cool, like, really aggressive and mean.
Yeah.
Have we worked out what was in Sasha's hair? Because I think it was Cheetos. Or what's it?
I think it was just hair grips.
Hair grips.
I don't know what it was.
Little clips.
Loads
Bacon
of little
Frazzles.
bits.
Bacon Frazzles. She looks like Bacon Frazzles sort of girl.
Yeah, she's a Bacon Frazzles wrestler.
What does that mean?
Whatever
she
you
looked
want
like
it to
a
mean.
bacon frazzle. Okay. Oh, okay. It means something awful in my head. I like seeing Sasha get... Oh, this sounds weird as well, but I like seeing Sasha getting sort of ragdolled around, because
she does it so well, doesn't she?
She does. Ronda
does.
obviously is brilliant at whipping her opponents around as well, and obviously, we should mention the attempt at the Three Amigos suplexes at the start.
Yeah,
but
that
the
was
way
sweet.
that Sasha gets chucked around is fantastic.
I think I realised something I'm not mad on with Ronda during this match when she had Sasha up on the shoulders. She loves a chat with the crowd, doesn't she? Like you want to see some wrestling? And it's like, yeah, just do it. And she'll do it for ages until it's kind of weird and awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did get a bit weird in this match, that stuff.
I didn't mind
Still,
it.
another great match from Ronda, though.
Yeah, it was great.
Solid.
And that finish, that gut wrench like slam that she did it looked brutal.
Yeah.
It did.
I wish we could have seen it properly, cameraman, who was awful.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
The post-match was a bit weird, though, wasn't it? Sort of the sign of respect between the both, and then Sasha kind of walked off, but then sort of just lingered around awkwardly for a while.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, and then kind of teased the 4 horsewomen versus. But I'm sure if like Sasha went to the back and was like, "Hey girls, how about we do the 4 horsewomen?" Becky would just be like, "Yeah, I've got more important things to worry about." So fuck off.
Bailey's just chomping at the bit though.
yeah. The interesting thing is, of course, there's been lots of speculation in the media about whether or not Ronda's going to be sticking around, and the stuff came out that she actually wants out and she's just going to go after WrestleMania, and then her saying don't necessarily believe what you read. If that 4 horsewomen stuff should happen, will they rush it for WrestleMania?
I hope they don't, just because it's just such a perfect Survivor Series kind of story, and it gives Jessamine Duke and Maria Shafir a little bit more time to develop their in-ring speed, in-ring skills. I can just about say that. You know what? Whether Ronda stays or goes, it's been refreshing to see someone kind of dive so headfirst into wrestling as a celebrity wrestler and actually take to it so well.
She's got such a unique style; it makes her really stand out.
Yeah, and she's brought a lot of new stuff, or to me anyway, seeing a lot of new stuff, which is great and
just
refreshing.
Looks legit. She looks, a lot of the stuff she does just looks so real, and probably because it is. I imagine there's some things that she's like, well, why don't we do this? And we never do anything like that. Well, this is actually, this has won me fights in the past, real fights. But yeah, I think we all enjoyed that match, another good match. The next one we're going to discuss is the first of the 2 Rumble matches, and it's the women's one, and it was bloody good.
This was one of the best Rumble matches I think I've ever seen. One of the most really good. So good.
I think what the main takeaway is just how good, like the standard of women's wrestling in the WWE at the moment. And we say that like overall because they were using main roster people, NXT people, and then a few from the Mae Young Classic as well. No need for any veteran Hall of Famers, just loads of quality young female wrestlers.
And Tamina.
And
Natalia and Tamina.
It totally benefited from that as well.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
Tenfold.
Yeah, agreed.
It had a really good mix of like really great spots. Like Rhea Ripley looked really strong.
Yeah,
and the Moon was fantastic, but also kind of mixed it with like some really funny bits, like Billie Kay not entering until Peyton Royce came out was funny, and Selena Vega sort of hiding under the ring and just popping her head out every so often was amazing.
That was funny.
Shit, I have only just realised why she was dressed as Vega. It's just her name.
Dear.
Oh yeah.
Oh
my God.
Wow. I've just got it. It's what, 8
You were
PM
very
now?
happy about that, weren't you?
I was. I love a Street Fighter reference.
And this Rumble had Hornswoggle. I mean, no one predicted that.
I would love to know how many times he's appeared in a Rumble, because it must be up there with some of the highest, I reckon.
It's
Mike,
strange.
like, when do you think Hornswoggle got under the ring?
Oh, he's
I
been
think
under
he's
there
been there
since
like
pre-show.
2017.
Like, in all seriousness, do they sneak him in at some point, or is there like a trapdoor underneath? I need to know.
Question.
Yeah, you guys are stumped.
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Is wrestling real?
Is this real?
We
you
just
real?
don't know.
I reckon he was sat there from like just before the pre-show. Just
Do you
waiting
think
hours.
Pissing into a bottle.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised, and that they like were putting stuff under the ring, and they just wheeled down a little case or something, and he was in it.
Yeah, they or one of the bins, if they
Snuck him in with the 205 Live match.
Yeah.
No one had a clue.
Yeah.
I loved how they used the NXT women in this Rumble as well. Like, it wasn't a kind of, here's all of the women who we've had over the last 20 years. It was like here's all the women we've got wrestling now. And that just made it so good. And they booked them really well as well. Like, it wasn't like a kind of turn up, get eliminated kind of thing. It was sort of proper getting 10, 20-minute stints in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And getting eliminations.
Rhea Ripley got like 3 or 4 eliminations. And
She
it's
looked
just
great. She did look
so
great.
cool to see. We said at the time how she's like a legit badass, and a lot of the ones who they've tried to have to come across as badasses don't necessarily, or they haven't sort of hit, have
You
they?
were so stoked to see Casey Catanzaro as well.
Yeah, that was awesome to see her come out.
She looked great as well. She had that great sort of save.
Yeah, she looked really in place there. It was weird seeing her wrestle Selena Vega because they're both so
Small,
short.
yeah. That's so tiny.
Yeah.
What I was impressed with was the Naomi sort of jumped to the barricade and then did that incredible jump to the stairs.
Yeah, we thought that was not going to work.
Yeah, and then she was just eliminated by Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose just pushed her off. I mean,
that was a great heel move.
Yeah, it was.
Really
I'm not a big fan of that feud so far, but I thought that was really good. Great storytelling.
I really enjoyed seeing Alicia Fox's entrance to the ring. I think that might have been my favourite part of the entire Rumble.
We all love Alicia Fox.
So much character to the roster for the women now as well. The in-ring is great, but the personalities that they've got are so much more interesting. And there's the intense ones and there's ones that are just hilarious, like just comedy gold. And Alicia Fox was one of them. And then there's Tamina.
Do you remember when Tamina did that splash? And
oh, good Lord.
John, what was it, John, that you said? Jimmy Snooker now would have done a better splash. Snash, I know you said.
Wow.
Who else? Io Shirai, when she came, there was a bit of controversy, wasn't there? Because she came straight away, got in the ring, and then got up and did that moonsault, which basically means that she eliminated herself.
She did the tiger feint kick. She definitely got into the ring.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Then jumped out. So, Io Shirai, you're breaking the rules. Fuck off. Stop cheating.
Well, speaking of breaking the rules, Becky Lynch turns up out of nowhere. Takes Roman's place. That's not sanctioned.
So, is that... I don't know. If Finlay says you can, you don't argue with him.
That's a good point. If he had his shillelagh, maybe I'd...
Isn't it weird that we saw both Finlay and Hornswoggle on the same show?
Yeah.
On the same Rumble.
Yeah, weird. You wait ages and then all of a sudden Finlay and Hornswoggle rock up.
It's good to see them though. It was cool to see Finlay actually in a suit, which just looks weird.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw him was when Roman Reigns crashed the ambulance into the wall with Braun Strowman in it.
Yeah,
that's a strange sentence.
That was a great moment. I thought they were going to need an ambulance actually when Kairi Sane started running with that telescope.
Oh yeah!
Yes. Oh god, that's dangerous. Don't do that.
Yeah, everyone knows from school. You don't run with scissors and you don't run with anything held against your face or your eyes, especially a telescope.
That's insane. Especially I tell you what, if WWE ever do another warning thing again, where it's like, don't try this at home, please just include a clip of that.
A clip of that.
Yeah, that's the most dangerous thing in all of WWE.
If you fall forward, you're in big trouble and you can't see anything. Everything's just going to be weird. The perspective, silly, Kairi.
She just comes to the back and tightens her nails, just like, you need to be careful.
Yeah. And then with her end to the Rumble, if you're falling out the ring, don't use your face to stop the fall.
That was a risky strategy.
Interesting. How did we feel about Zelina Vega's kind of keep on popping out at the bottom of the ring and having a giggle?
I thought it was quite funny. It was weird.
Yeah. It was funny. I think it was one of those jokes that the first time it was like, oh, haha, and the second time it was like, okay, it's a bit much now. And then the third, fourth, fifth time, it starts to become funny again. And I think it was that.
I think the payoff
the more
in the
times
end
it
was
happened,
decent as well.
it was funnier.
She managed to do a great job of kind of getting on camera every time and just doing a good little giggle. It was very pantomime.
Did she actually get eliminated? Because didn't she get chased off by Hornswoggle?
Yeah.
Oh, she went back into the ring, didn't she? I think, and then someone threw her out. Yeah.
Terrible choice. I mean, the way to win a Rumble is just to, not enter the ring. Well, enter the ring, slide out, then go backstage, give it an hour or so.
Chill. Yeah.
You do the Natalia thing. We just stay on the top turnbuckle for about 20-30 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, Natalia was getting
corner.
Quite a lot of grief from us, but we also agreed that she was most likely playing the Jericho role, didn't we? And she was probably directing traffic a little bit, reminding people what needs to happen when, because she's like one of the most experienced in there. Looking down the list by far, in fact. I mean,
she was
there
longest,
really weren't many veterans in there at all, were there?
No, not at all.
No.
Well, Mickie James.
Yeah, I mean, you could say Charlotte is a bit of a veteran now, but not in the same sense
eliminated
as Mickie.
Mickie James, John?
Bloody Tamina.
That was a funny moment.
How to get serious heat from John.
Nice to see Alexa back as well.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. It was super nice to see Alexa back. It's been ages since we've seen her in the ring.
Yeah, it really has. She had a nice face-off with Ember Moon, didn't she? They were sort of battling each other on the edge of the ring, which was cool.
That's a feud I want to see.
Yeah, that would be a really good matchup.
I think Bayley deserves some props as well, because I think she had a really strong section in this match. Looking strong, looking
she did
energized,
quite a few.
Yeah,
All of the women in this match came across really well, apart from Tamina.
Yeah, it's just
and poor Liv Morgan as well. She got in the ring. She was out the ring.
You're always going to have one. She'll have her time.
Lacey Evans as well. Should mention her. She obviously opened it. She got to do a promo, which was cool. And she stayed in a long time.
Well, yeah.
I think she got eliminated 10th.
Yeah. She had half an hour. She had half an hour in the ring. It was very good. Xia Li was interesting.
Oh yeah,
kind of very much a little bit out of place in comparison to the rest of the NXT lot that came through, but good for her.
Yeah, I thought she did right. It was good to see her. She's one of those wrestlers that sticks out a lot because she's so different. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tell you what, as well, the Becky Charlotte face-off gave me tingles.
It was very weird to witness John's tingles in the flesh.
It's quite visible when I tingle. It's weird.
Yeah, he sort of gets up and just does this weird little dance.
Yeah, you can see every hair on my body just sticks out.
Like his eyes go up into the roof of his head like the Undertaker. It's very strange.
What are we talking about?
John tingling.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, so Becky and Charlotte. We had Becky, Charlotte, and Nia Jax as the final 3, and then obviously, Becky and Charlotte as the final 2. I felt like that bit. I mean, it seems a bit weird to say this for a match that was an hour and 12 minutes long, but maybe they could have gone on slightly longer, those two at the end. Or am I being
I think they did a good job with what they had. Like, I think kind of the knee injury story, and then Charlotte beating the crap out of Becky and going for it, and then even the clothesline finish. I thought it was just a really cool end to the match. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, they've just got such great history. Like, their feud is really fantastic. Do. Yeah. And weren't you saying at the time, Sam, that this reminded you of
I
Stone
got
Cold?
Kind of the Rock and Stone Cold vibes, just as Becky basically did a Luthez press.
Yeah, she came in straight, didn't it? That was cool.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this a lot, actually.
Yeah, Becky wins the Rumble, and you just think all those years, I mean, it felt like years, it was probably only a year, but those years she spent in the wilderness, all the time just losing to people and jobbing to people, and us just thinking, come on. You know, she's so good. And now, like, she's literally the biggest star in WWE at the moment.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I've got to be honest, I wasn't hot on Becky a few years ago at all. Like, I've very much come around with the rest of the crowd as she's gotten popular, because I'm not cool like that. I'm not a visionary. I get on board with things when they're popular. I supported United in the 90s.
Wow, really?
Nah. Yes.
Good. Okay, right. So that's a women's Rumble match, which we really enjoyed. Really great Rumble. And let's move on now to the next match, chronologically, which was Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. I think we all agreed that well, hey, it's a surprise. Is it a surprise? Okay, probably not. I think we all agreed, didn't we? We're all back on board with Daniel Bryan. Brett, you're a big fan again, aren't you?
Yeah. I am. I totally switched off when they were pairing him with his wife, and I just didn't like that period of Daniel Bryan. But then, his subsequent heel turn, cardigan wearing champion of vegans and saving the planet, I'm well on board.
It's so weird that that's a heel gimmick.
I know.
I mean, it's
Vince's company, isn't it?
It's so strange, though.
It makes sense when you think Vince is in charge,
and Vince loves, is in with Trump. All that stuff makes sense.
This match suffered really badly, though, didn't it, from just being after the Rumble match?
Yeah, totally.
And being so long.
Yeah, it was 25 minutes in the end.
Oh, bloody hell.
We all found it so difficult to focus on this, because after that, an hour and 12 minutes of watching one match, we all needed to get up and stretch our legs and get a drink, go to the loo or whatever. It was the toilet break match.
Yeah.
Which should have been blooming Shane O'Mac, not AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan. It's ridiculous. But the crowd felt the same way as us.
It was a good match. It was like really hard hitting and looked so painful.
Yeah.
But it just felt like a match we've seen this match before. Like, it was no different from the last match, it didn't feel like.
Yeah, I felt like it was good. It hit all the right notes, but it just it didn't feel special.
Yeah. No. Except when Eric Rowan, who was apparently at Pearl Jam concert next door, stumbled in Lost.
Yeah, that perked us up. It did the job.
It definitely did.
Why the fuck is Eric Rowan out there? Actually, what we were all thinking.
It was
what
intriguing.
Business has he got here? Like, turn around. You've made a wrong. Like, we thought our Truth was going to be the one. you know, turning up at the wrong match.
The best part of this was like when it happened, everyone in the crowd turned, and then Brett just goes, "Is there a beach ball?" And then the camera cuts, and it's not a beach ball. It's Eric Rowan, and everyone wished it was a beach ball.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to see where this goes, though.
Well, yeah. He's going to be a henchman, isn't he? He's
big henchman, isn't it?
A supporter. Yeah. He's gonna turn vegan.
Perfect
He's
role.
just going to hang on every one of Daniel Bryan's words.
Yeah, I like the idea of them going backstage with Daniel Bryan. Like, Daniel, like, we're going to stick you with a bodyguard because we think as a heel it would be a really good move. And Daniel's like, yeah, it'd be a great idea. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, who would you got? Well, sit down. We've got Eric Rowan not doing much at the moment.
Oh, man.
And we've got these giant flannel shirts.
Yeah, and he's got a beard as well.
Yeah, it feels so kind of strange to axe the Bludgeon Brothers so soon. But
No, it doesn't.
No, it
That
feels
was
like
awful.
a great decision.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nobody cares.
I was enjoying the car crash of the Bludgeon Brothers.
The Bludgeon Brothers music, videos, entrance gear, or ring gear, sorry, and those crappy mallets. Just all of it was
now
awful.
we can't do Harper.
Rowan. There we go.
Brothers. Thank
We
you.
did it.
That's,
One last
that's
time.
It. That's going to be the final time.
I do hope they do a little video package on tonight's Raw where they just show Harper burning a hammer with a single tear rolling down his cheek.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Bryan just chops up and is like, that's not environmentally friendly. The plastic
Yeah.
we got it from Toys R Us.
Should have recycled that. Yeah. I mean, what else is there really to say? It was just a weird match for us to experience because we just couldn't really get into it.
Yeah, it also feels like this is just continuing the feud as well.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a stinker of a match. These two are good, but I was expecting a really great match because I remember last time we talked about it, we said this is a good match, but we know they're capable of something really special, and they haven't done it yet. So
I think overall it reminds me of CM Punk's Straight Edge Society where he had who's he? Luke Gallows.
Yeah,
with him.
And who's
as
that?
kind of
The woman
the
as well. I
enforcer.
can't remember who the woman was.
Serena.
Yes.
oh yeah, with a shaved head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was in the Mae Young Classic, wasn't she?
She was indeed, yeah. She's now like a yoga practitioner.
Oh, I thought she joined on to coach in the performance
She
centre.
probably is, yeah. Like she's got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see where it goes. I guess like I don't think Eric Rowan has any place in the ring anymore. Like I think this is a little bit of the death of his career now. For
it's the
singles
best
wrestling.
place for him at the moment. Like for still having a job.
Yeah, like I don't think there's anything wrong with being an enforcer. Like I think that's a valid role in wrestling, and I think it's kind of would be good for WWE to lean into it a bit.
He totally fits it. Like, you know, look-wise, scale of his self.
And they've definitely tried to give him runs as a singles wrestler and tried to give him tag team runs. And ultimately, he was at his best with the Wyatt family, and now he might be at his best as part of the vegan family.
Yeah, I think it can be potentially like some quite hilarious heel stuff from Daniel Bryan with Eric Rowan.
I can't wait to know what they're called. Oh.
Cool. Well, that was the WWE World Title match, believe it or not. And then we had the Universal Championship match between Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar. Obviously, in the build to this, it was supposed to be Braun Strowman, and then he flipped a limousine, as you do, and got knocked out of that and lost his opportunity. Finn Balor won
Classic
the
Braun.
fatal four-way match, was it? In Raw?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He got the John Cena seal of recommendation.
Oh, he did. He really did. And fully deserved, because not only did he perform brilliantly on that episode of Raw, but he'd literally just flown back from the UK after his match with Devlin. And then he put in a good performance. And Brock Lesnar seems to be enjoying his wrestling at the moment.
His last two matches have been great, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think that, obviously, honestly, I mean this, what's happened to Roman Reigns is terrible, but him leaving the title picture is working out pretty well for Brock, because he's getting some different matchups. We're not just having people trading F5s and Superman punches and suplexes and spears. You know, we're getting proper matches.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. I think kind of with Lesnar, he's loving these matches against kind of smaller people that he can literally just chuck across the ring, because he can let them wail on him for a bit and then just kind of drop them with something. It was sort of similar to the Daniel Bryan match in that respect.
Well, apart from the fact that it was the opposite because Finn started hot.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And Finn looked really good, and we give props to Brock for being a great seller.
He is a great seller. There was some really good storytelling as well, because obviously Brock went into the announce table on the side in the corner, which meant he couldn't do the F5, so then he has to win with the Kamara lock, which was, you haven't seen him do that.
You never see.
Yeah, which I just thought that was really cool. It's just like, I didn't expect to see that happen, and that was awesome. And it all makes sense.
The other thing with that as well, they were saying that it's like a callback to the fact that Brock's had those problems with his stuff, like he's had injuries with his gut in the past. The fact that Finn Balor did that, but it also weakened the area that then the coup de grace focuses on. Yeah, so it means that his sort of stomach area was prone, and he got the coup de grace, and it looked, I don't think any of us really believed Balor was going to win the title, but he gave it a good shot.
He did give it a good shot. I thought the post-match pin beatdown was incredibly strange.
Well, does that mean it kind of implies that this isn't done yet, doesn't it?
I'm not sure, because it's Brock Lesnar, so we might not see him again now for 4 months.
Yeah, it is weird. I found it a bit weird.
Yeah, it's Lesnar going, I'll let Balor go close on me and I'll sell for him, but as long as I can beat the shit out of him after I win.
Yes.
It's in his contract.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably right, isn't it, unfortunately?
I'm very surprised that no one made the save for Balor. For someone who is kind of so popular and literally has his own club, like you would have thought that maybe the Good Brothers or...
That'd be underwhelming, though, wouldn't it? The Good Brothers running out. I'd be
more underwhelming than Eric Rowan.
In a way, kinda, actually.
I'd rather no one than the Good Brothers, personally.
Well, you got your wish.
Yes. Yeah, I did. But a good match. 8 minutes 40, standard, under 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Brock,
I mean, it was so fast as well. Like, it was moment, like the sling blade
fit quite a lot in.
Something when Brock caught Finn during the sling blade was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think kind of Finn Balor coming out 100 miles per hour was great. All those suicide dives were really cool.
Yeah, they looked great.
It was great to see Finn just going it, like gunning it, and yeah. I'm a little bit sad that he didn't win.
Yeah, he still looked good though. He looked strong.
Yeah,
definitely. I'd love to see Balor having a run at the IC title or something like that. Like he needs to be going for a belt. I'm not sure he's the man to hold the Universal Championship at the moment, but I'd like it to see him.
You say that, but I sort of wonder if they're going to build into a possible triple threat Mania. Because I can't imagine Balor's done with Brock after that beatdown, and Balor's probably got some scores to settle with Seth Rollins after he lost the Universal title.
Yeah, maybe
in the first place. I could see them perhaps building into it.
That could be a good match. That'd be a great match.
Because the way they're booking Brock at the moment, even though like your Daniel Bryan and Finn did have a bit of a fight, Brock's still coming out on top, and you can't see him losing to a smaller guy at the moment. And that's why we keep thinking it's going to be Braun Strowman or something, just because the only way he can lose is if it's to some giant. So if it was a triple threat, something like that, he doesn't necessarily need to lose.
Exactly. That's where I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on then to the final of our key matches, which is, of course, the Men's Royal Rumble match. Came in at just under an hour, 57 minutes. And I think it's fair to say we all enjoyed this, because this was basically a celebration of all of our favourite wrestlers that are in WWE.
And Jeff Jarrett.
And Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett.
Although I will quickly say this, the one person that I was really hoping to see, which we didn't, was Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, that was strange.
Considering all the great people that we love that were in there, that would have been awesome as well.
It is a bit
he doesn't
strange
have to get called up to be in it. He can,
and especially
it would have been a great spot.
He didn't have a match at Takeover, so you kind of got the impression maybe they were saving him to be unveiled in the Rumble. Or
I mean, he is part of the Worlds Collide tournament next week, so maybe that's kind of. They're going to give him the big push.
Maybe. But we should focus on the fact that this match did have Pete Dunne in it. Main roster pay-per-view debut. Absolutely amazing. I think that was the biggest pop for me, even though it was
Hasn't Pete Dunne been on Raw before?
Yeah,
main roster pay-per-view debut. I mean.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm listening to half your words, man.
Nothing. same as usual. I think we all would have assumed that he might have been involved, but it's just so cool to see him. And we got to see Aleister Black. We got to see Andrade Cien Almas, as we'll continue to call him, Mustafa Ali. Loads of our favourites, all in
Johnny
the ring
wrestling.
at the same time. It was so cool. Oh, and Gargano, of course. How could I forget?
Yeah, and they were all so strong as well, innit? None of them were fodder or weak. You know, they all had great sort of sequences and spots for themselves, which was just awesome to see, you know, such talent actually get that opportunity.
Some huge eliminations as well. Aleister Black eliminating Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and then
like a very big shout for him.
Mustafa Ali getting Nakamura and then Samoa Joe. Just like,
I think
massive.
Ali has had some of the strongest booking going into and even coming out of this Rumble. They're really
going
hot
all
on
in
him
on
at
him.
the moment.
Yeah, it's good to see that young wrestler coming up from 205 Live. We discussed this earlier. Like, are you coming up from 205 Live? Is that really...
It seems weird. I mean, it seems like Hideo Itami's coming up from 205 Live.
I think it's good, though, because I think it's, you know, with obviously like Rey Mysterio as well, you know, you don't want to see all the small guys just get siphoned along to 205 Live. Like, we don't want to see Johnny Gargano go that way, do we?
Good Lord,
we want to see Johnny go main roster. So it is interesting if we are going to see, you know, the odd 205 Live guy get plucked out and given that opportunity.
Absolutely. I think kind of there's a very interesting parallel to the New Japan system as well, with their kind of junior heavyweights and then them kind of then making the transition upwards into the heavyweight division. It's, on the face of it, seems disingenuous to the junior heavyweight or cruiserweight division, but ultimately, if the main show is Raw or SmackDown, then that's the place to end up, isn't it?
It's always going to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
That case. No matter how popular NXT or 205 Live is, this, you know, Raw or SmackDown is where the wrestlers want to get to.
I would love to see the average weight of the actual wrestlers in this Rumble, though, because I reckon most of them are probably around the 205 mark.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always thinking Seth Rollins is quite close to being 205 Live.
He's booked at like 220, but I can't see that.
One of my favourite things of the whole Rumble was Dean Ambrose coming out, and this is quite a niche joke that Sam made. But Sam said that he reminded him of a buff Matthew Corbett, who is, of course, the guy who used to be the sooty puppeteer.
It's not just me, though, is
he
it?
Dead?
Like,
must be,
know.
right?
I think his
on
dad.
this one.
I think his dad was the original City guy.
Yeah, he
and
was,
then Matthew
yeah.
Corbett
Yeah.
took over, and then did Matthew Corbett's son
No, he's...
take
Matthew
over?
Corbett is still alive. He's 70 years old and he's wrestling in the Rumble. You know?
That explains why he went out so easily to Aleister Black. Okay.
He does look a little bit like Dean Ambrose, though.
He does.
Does he?
A little bit. I think so.
Yeah, I just did a Google. He does a bit, yeah.
He does. One of the key questions that I had coming out of this was Elias, the old knee pads under skinny jeans.
Tricky.
Yeah,
How
impossible, surely.
How do you do that?
Breaking the laws of physics.
They were very tight, those jeans. Very tight.
Maybe they sewed them on him.
Maybe those are just his knees.
Maybe there
Just
is
years of
knees.
being arrested, got these massive calluses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's actually got to do wrestling to get those calluses.
That's a good point. His
No,
promo
just
was
play his
too
guitar.
long. That Jeff Jarrett bit I was not a fan of.
No.
Yeah, that was a weak start.
I was a fan of, though, Andrade. He looked amazing in this. Especially when he destroyed Rey Mysterio with that powerbomb. And had to check and make sure Rey Mysterio was still alive.
He is
that
doing
was
some
high.
big things at the moment, Andrade. And
Yeah.
it was great to see him in that final...
Four? It's definitely Final Four.
Was it Final Four he was in?
Yeah.
It certainly felt like it.
Yeah, the final four was Ziggler, Andrade, Rollins, and Strowman.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, I think that's a great shout for him, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
He's
obviously,
literally tearing it up at the moment. He really is. Fantastic.
We should refer to the fact that R-Truth, we knew he was going to be number 30, and then out comes Nia Jax and just punches him, and she joined the Rumble.
I'm not
And
sure
that
how I
was
felt about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Not expecting
it was a weird
that.
one. It was kind of cool, but I mean, the big question is intergender wrestling okay now?
I don't think. I mean, I don't mind
think
it. If it's not that,
for the
I don't think it's going to
WWE, I
happen.
mean.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen in WWE. I don't think this means that.
I thought this is what this meant. I thought that was the whole idea behind this, was that it was just like, okay, it's now okay for intergender wrestling.
We've had women in the men's rumble before, Chyna and Beth Phoenix.
We have, but it's been a very long time since we've had that, like nearly 10 years.
And they didn't skirt around it, did they? Like, she was on the end of a 619 and an RKO in quick succession. It wasn't like, they were pussyfooting around.
Yeah.
They really went for it. And JBL loved it, didn't they?
Oh my god,
He enjoyed it maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah.
possibly too much. I reckon he's watching that again now, just in his hotel room, lights down.
That was in his contract to do this commentary. Just
That was his rider, yeah.
person.
Everyone get out of the
There's
room.
got to be a woman in the ring, and she has to get beaten.
Okay. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Cool. Let's slander JBL some more.
Yeah. So Rollins won it. I think, again, I mean, as soon as he went through that table early on, you knew he was going to be in the final two or was going to win it, didn't he?
It was nice. The finish was nice though, where they were on the apron, him and Braun, sort of. It was like, who was going to go? I thought that worked really
the
well.
curb stomp was cool.
Yeah.
And it's great for Rollins. He needs a rumble under him. He's kind of good enough and deserves it. He's been around long enough, and he's already kind of been top of the card before. So
Yeah.
He's
definitely.
a good
definitely deserves
face
it.
as well. Like, he's really over the crowd, and if he beats Brock at WrestleMania, the crowd would go nuts.
See, I much prefer him as a heel.
Oh, me too. God, get JJ Security back. I love those guys.
Oh, they were so great.
Jamie Noble's still there. Get him in.
Yeah. So yeah, I think agreed. We all really enjoyed that. I'd probably say I didn't enjoy it as much as the women's one, because even though there were loads of our favourite wrestlers involved and that we did pop for when they came out and the performances they put in, it didn't sort of have as many, like, in terms of story. The women's one had quite a lot of callbacks to various feuds. And
I'm
more
not sure
story
though.
to
I
it,
think they
thought.
developed some new interesting stuff here. Like, I think we're going to have a Mustafa Ali versus Samoa Joe feud in the near future.
Yeah, that should be cool. And maybe
Well, we
even
have been
like
having
Mustafa
that, haven't
Ali and Nakamura, which will be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if Aleister Black gets a call up, then potentially, that would kind of maybe make sense as to why he managed to just get rid of Ambrose so quickly.
I mean, it seemed big as well that
strange.
Gargano got the eliminate on Mahal,
Yeah,
which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
everyone looks
So-
strong in this, except for the people who didn't really want to look strong, like No Way Jose.
Yeah, they were there for their reason.
They put Drew McIntyre well.
Oh, I loved it when he came in and just
Just to see him
claymored
do so
everyone.
well.
Just
Oh yeah, real Minoru
Smash.
Suzuki beatdown.
Yeah, it was
didn't he?
good. Oh yeah, with the rosebuds.
Yeah.
The new rosebuds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got Baron Corbin wrestling again and doing Brett's favourite move.
immediately
God.
slides through. Immediately, he
In
did
no
that. That was
time
so
at
funny.
all.
But I think we all agreed we
that
liked the
deep
deep six. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
great move.
and he didn't do it, but I like the end of days.
Yeah.
I like some of his in-ring stuff, and actually I think he did a good job with what was given to him with all the Raw general manager stuff. I think
Yeah,
he's
I
pretty
agree with
good.
that as well. Yeah, I think he
I
got.
think we love Baron Corbin on this
I think
pod.
so.
I think
I don't
we're
think we
him.
do.
I think we
I don't-
do,
I
Brett.
don't- I don't think we do. Do we?
Yeah,
I think three-quarters of us like him, and
Three
you'll like him
quarters.
in about a year's time when everyone else is already on board with him.
I certainly like him more now than I did when he was wearing like the wolf t-shirts and had that horrible hair.
oh, and the
Yeah.
weird belly.
Yeah, I mean, without the hair, much better. But
I think he might be my
still-
star performer.
Ooh.
Ooh, careful! Brett's going to kick off. It's his rider to do this pod.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Brett.
We've got
Okay.
to bury Baron Corbin. Come on.
No. That was our review of the Men's Royal Rumble then. And we're going to have a quick break, I think, and then we're going to talk about our worst of the rest.
And now the power comes out. Lacey Lane bounced off the apron.
And that is the hardest part of the ring. Nothing but steel under that.
Worst of the rest then, and we only have one match to talk about here, and it is the match that we all agreed should have been the toilet break match, and it is also, if we're completely honest with you all listeners, the match that we skipped because we were worried about time and we knew it wasn't going to be good, but we did go back and watch it at the end.
That didn't help matters, though, did it? Because it was
kind
after
of.
a
Did
4-hour pay-per-view.
Did we watch it?
Yeah.
Not
We are
really.
aware of its existence.
But I think that sort of sums up everything that needs to be said in a way, is that nobody cares about The Miz and Shane O'Mac. Like, that storyline is a storyline that nobody asked
Hold on,
for.
we
Them
care about
together.
the Miz.
We care about the Miz.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, agreed. The tag team. But the Miz is much better than this, and he should be doing other things. But it's just a vanity project, as is every Shane and Mac match, pretty much.
Between this and the Raw tag team match, WWE just need to do a complete and utter reset on their tag divisions, because it is a joke at the moment. They are so bad. And they have the talent, they really do, but they just are not utilising it in a way that makes any sense whatsoever. And I think they need to just kind of get rid of the two divisions, merge them into one, have a tournament or something, and just establish some tag team wrestling, rather than just it being the redheaded stepchild of wrestling at the moment, which is just abysmal.
It definitely needs a bit of love and attention, doesn't it?
Brett, as a redhead, how do you feel about this? Strawberry blonde.
Harsh beans.
But some of the tag teams they've got are incredible. The Revival, the Usos, the New Day, even Bobby Roode and Chad Gable I could probably get behind with a little bit of watching them. I like Chad Gable.
Chad Gable's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
They've got enough good tag teams. Where the hell are Sanity at the moment?
Yes, and Sanity are great as well. Their components, they are great, and their gimmick was great. So, but they're just gone. They're in the basement.
Enough tag teams that they don't need the Miz and Shane McMahon.
No.
Just stroking ego. It's mental.
It's because they spend all week writing the Mandy Rose and Naomi storyline. By the time it gets to Monday, Tuesday, they haven't got time to think about the tag division.
Can I just add, if you're gonna smoosh a couple of guys together to make a tag team, give them some music, give them a name, and give them some matching ring gear. Just don't do the two intros. Don't or make Chad Gable wear a robe and suddenly become Bobby Roode because it just doesn't fit. It's just they've got the money, they've got all the, I'm sure, in-house team to do all that stuff. So just put them on it.
Spend a bit of time on it. Just have a tag tournament or something.
Especially if it's a team that's going to end up winning the titles. Because I don't understand with the Miz and Shane and Matt, it's not going to last, and this is all a build for when they're going to go up against each other at WrestleMania in the match that nobody wants to see. And will be a match when we review WrestleMania this year. We say we could have done without that match, because then it would have been 6 hours instead of 6 hours and 20 minutes.
It's just disappointing. It really is, to see so many good wrestlers not getting utilised.
It is. But Shane and Mac did a shooting star press.
That was, and it was very, very, very impressive.
I missed that.
Really good. I was kind of doing it through sort of my hands in front of my eyes, because I thought, okay, we're going to watch Shane Mac kill himself here and land on his head.
Was anyone else hoping for a Brock Lesnar style shooting star?
Very much so. Very much so. I did think it's really funny after Cesaro did the aeroplane spin, Shane O'Mac looked very, very dizzy. He did not look well. And he tried to put that triangle chokehold in, and it looked awful because he was obviously I don't know where I am or what I'm doing.
Genuinely dizzy.
Do you know, the weird thing is that everyone was so excited when Shane McMahon first came back, because it was fresh new direction at last. And it's just like the curse of the McMahons, isn't it? Once they start, they just can't step away.
Yeah. But I am keen, because I thought for a second we might have gone down the route of talking about Vince McMahon as well, and what's been happening since he's back with some of the storylines and the choices for the likes of Mandy Rose and others. But let's not, because we're going to keep positive. This has genuinely been very good. And this match is just the only misstep, really. Obviously the weakest match, but it wasn't a terrible match, but the placement of it should have been that toilet break match, and things could have been very different.
Just one more thing on Worst of the Rest.
What?
The return of JBL and the King. Come on.
Yeah. Totally with that.
Agreed.
I don't even remember them on commentary very much either.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, star performer next. We're each going to pick out a wrestler that we thought did particularly well, or we enjoyed seeing for whatever reason. And first up is going to be John.
This is really hard. I thought there was a lot of really good performers. I very nearly gave it to Brock Lesnar. But I'm going to go with Andrade.
Okay.
He's had an amazing few weeks, and he was awesome in this Rumble match when they did that sort of Tower of Death and he lifted. Yeah. Was it Mustafa Ali or Rey Mysterio into the suplex?
It was Mustafa Ali.
Just incredible
He was
strength.
Shaking, wasn't he? He was shaking with how difficult that was.
It was a great spot.
Okay. Good shout. Brett?
I'm going to second that because I do love Andrade, and he was awesome.
Okay, Sam?
I'm going to go for Mustafa Ali.
Wow.
Because what an incredible Rumble and a few weeks he's been having.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Mine's between two. It's going to be Finn Balor or Pete Dunne. I'm going to just... I'm going to give it to Pete Dunne. Fuck it. Because the biggest pop I had was really for Dunne coming out. I was so happy to see him, and the fact, and we commented on it at the time, he's somebody who we've seen live. Well, actually, fuck it, I haven't because I wasn't fucking there, which is really annoying. But he's someone who you three saw live at
tagged with briefly
at Riptide. Sam, of course, tagged with him for a little bit, and he's somebody
gone
who's
very opposite directions since then.
But
you are Marty Jannetty. Oh my god!
Pete Dunne put something on his Instagram, a photo of him coming out, and he said, "Wrestled in front of 48,000 people, and a few years ago, I wrestled in front of 2 people in a field." And it's that weird sense of pride when you see a Brit doing well abroad, and he did brilliantly.
It's great to see. It's really good for him.
Yeah,
got a big pop as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, the crowd love him. Everyone loves him. Even the commentary team were saying that he's going to be winning gold at some point, which is good. Good to hear. Obviously, I mean, one of the main roster belts, not the other one he's had for bloody ages. Overall rank next, we're going to give the pay-per-view a score out of 10, and I think it's probably going to do quite well. So who's going to start us off? Sam, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'm going straight in there with the 9.
Wow.
That's high for Sam.
That is high.
Guys.
Yeah.
Shitting hell, okay. Brett?
Well, I'm going to go under Sam. I'm going to go 8.5.
8.5, okay. John?
I'm going to go 9 as well.
God. Blimey. I think I'd probably go for 8 point... I was going to go 8, but...
Go 8 then.
Yeah, I mean, go with what you think it was.
You should always go first.
This is how this works.
You get swayed so badly.
I really do. I'm going to go 8. Because I don't think any of it was sort of...
8.625.
Yeah.
Ooh. Where does that land?
8.625. Guys, if we round it down to 8.6, which is what we have done in the past, then it is the joint best pay-per-view we have on our leaderboard. Along with All In and Wrestle Kingdom. And I mean, was it better than Wrestle Kingdom? Probably not.
I think it was better than Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, as a whole show, I think it was.
I think Wrestle Kingdom was good. I think this was better.
I didn't expect this to be Evolution, and it has. Wow.
It's. I guess it had a lot of entertainment value, this one, didn't it? Whereas, Wrestle Kingdom, probably some of the matches were much more higher on our thingy, but entertainment-wise, with all the likes, like we were saying, of Billy Kay and Peyton Royce and all those aspects that were brought to this made it a fun watch.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me is the Royal Rumble is such an easy avenue for them to basically bring back a bunch of 60, 70-year-old people, get them into the ring and be like, oh, look at this, it's Ric Flair or whatever. And this year's Royal Rumble was just the complete antithesis of that. It was kind of, here are a bunch of NXT stars, some of which are established, some of which have not even been on net TV since the Mae Young Classic. Yeah. And it wasn't like here they are just for a little bit of a run out. They were eliminating top stars. And that's huge. And it's so cool.
And the other key thing is that every other WWE show, there's always 2 or 3 dross matches that you don't care about or have crappy finishes or whatever. But because you have 2-hour-long matches, the card is only 6 matches long, and they're all title matches, and they're all wrestlers you want to see. And then Shayna Mac as well. But
my favourite part of this whole thing?
Being in a podcast with us guys.
0. The amount of times I saw that stupid promo about the Royal Rumble stats.
Oh, I think that's we got lucky because we were fast forwarding a lot because we were tight on time. Because we saw it on the pre-show at least twice.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's too bad.
Okay, traffic. That is our review of WWE Royal Rumble 2019, and we're going to be back with the hardest question of the week after this.
Question of the week.
So, hardest question of the week is going to be takeover related, and we're going to slim down the team that talks about this because John and Brett haven't watched it yet.
Sorry, been busy.
Yeah,
I was going to watch it. I'm going to watch it tomorrow night. I've got a client stuff thing because I'm away, so I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
In a hotel room on my own, like JBL.
Yeah, so I would suggest then, as we're going to talk a little bit about TakeOver, that you guys probably go away for this bit so you can avoid spoilers. So maybe, take your headphones off,
Feels a bit like
stretch your legs.
Family Fortunes up there.
It does.
Yeah.
We're getting put in the tube.
Yeah, exactly. We'll speak to you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.
They gone?
Well, a couple of pricks.
So who do you reckon would win in a fight? Because I reckon Brett maybe be a tough one.
Ooh, I reckon John might be a bit like the Casey Cantazzaro.
I reckon John's got a good frog splash in him.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
But I reckon Brett's
I think
got
it would be like
angel.
they just do that slapping thing that you see. They just all start slapping each other and then squealing, and then they'd both start crying, and there wouldn't be a winner.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Hardest question of the week was, which was the best match at NXT TakeOver Phoenix and why? Let's see what the listeners thought first of all. We only got a few because we're recording this a bit earlier than normal, and I guess some people haven't managed to watch it yet. Will Superkick said Gargano versus Ricochet was fantastic, but so was the tag opener. And since I was a bit
sleepy
during the Gargano Ricochet match, I'd have to tip my cap to the exciting tag match. Gihan's World says Johnny Gargano versus King Ricochet without a doubt. And finally, Heel Nick Payne says Riddle Ono because I love Riddle and loved the ending. And then he says, but in all seriousness, Gargano versus Ricochet was a classic. Feel it could win match of the year until Gargano wrestles again. Anyway, he's the best wrestler on the planet at the moment due to the many high-profile matches he has had. What do you think, Sam?
He just keeps smashing it, doesn't it? I would have to agree. Gargano Ricochet was my favourite match. I thought the tag match was fantastic as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair. I'm not sure that was the best I've seen of either of them. And Ciampa Black, kind of, I think it was very good. Maybe not their best either. But Gargano, he just seems to keep going from strength to strength, doesn't he?
That was 100% my favourite. And if I was giving ratings, I'd say that was a 5-star match. Like, that was brilliant throughout. That sequence at the start where they were countering each other's moves, you sometimes get that, don't you, where you get the flow of people countering. It went on for ages.
Both of their mat wrestling was just absolutely on point.
Yeah.
And Gargano's in-ring storytelling as well is incredible. The real kind of, am I a heel kind of, I don't know, am I, aren't I?
Superb.
Brilliant.
And some of the stuff that Ricochet can do, oh my God, that thing where he sort of pogoed himself over the corner post.
So talented. Yeah.
Astonishing. And I'd actually say that I thought the Belair match with Baszler, I really loved the storytelling in that match and the way they made Belair look really strong and really gutsy.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. I think they did a great job with her. I don't think it would have been right for her to win the title this early on.
No.
But what a showing from her. And that hair whip. Oh, wow. Ow. The marks, man.
That welt. Okay. That was good. That was like a speedy review. Maybe we should just do that.
I like that.
Just get two of us
together. Are we firing them? Oh, can I do my Vince McMahon, you're fired when they're back?
Yeah, okay. So let's call the guys back. You back?
Hello, we're back.
Yes. Hello.
So we've had a team meeting.
Yes.
Can you have a team meeting with only two of you?
It's funny you ask, because...
we're the bosses.
Can we do it? Can I do it? You're fired.
Oh, gosh.
I can't do it.
Sorry, guys.
Both of us.
We didn't do the hardest question of the week this week was actually which one out of these two would you like to leave the pod? And we did a little poll, and it was 50-50. So
that's right. Me and Brett are going to start up sexy hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
Oh no! I knew they'd do that.
Yeah.
In our banana hammock.
Yeah. It's be a very visual podcast. You hear a lot of slapping.
Those chops, man.
They're chops.
Okay, moving on swiftly. We'll talk about what podcast we've got coming up next. And at the moment, we're not 100%. We may well have a very interesting interview lined up. If that doesn't come off, then we are probably going to do a rewind episode because we haven't done one of those for a while. So we'll look at a classic old pay-per-view from the vaults. But whatever we do, it will most likely be out next week. But follow us on our social media to keep up to date with what's happening. Brett, what is all that info that people need?
They can email us at hardestpartofthering@gmail.com, or they can catch us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. We are at Hardest Part Pod, and they can check out our shop in the meantime, which is hardestpartofthering.bigcartel.com.
Brilliant. And one last thing I wanted to squeeze in, actually, because everybody listening to this is clearly a fan of podcasts. I have been working on a project with Scroobius Pip. Some people might know him. He's a big wrestling fan as well. I know he really enjoyed the Royal Rumble. I've been working with him on a new podcast magazine, which is coming out on Monday the 4th of February. It's going to be available in London. We're going to be handing it out. There's also going to be a digital version available the week after, but we review loads of podcasts, and it has got interviews with podcasting legends such as Adam Buxton and other people like that. So I think it could be of interest, so definitely check that out. And there's an ad in there for a very good wrestling podcast, so keep an eye out for that as well. Okay, that is it. Royal Rumble review done, and we'll all speak to you in a week or so. Until then, thanks for listening. Goodbye from me, Adam. Goodbye from Sam.
I'm pointing at the WrestleMania sign.
Okay.
Nice.
Fade to black.
Goodbye from John.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from Brett.
Bye.
That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest